You? I'm telling you guys, just be little patient and follow my footsteps, whatsoever I'm telling all of you. You would see that it is not only going to help you in your sociology option for 500 marks, but it is going to give you immense jump in your ethics, essay, and other papers. Moreover, you would develop scientific temper. How many of you, after taking these classes, initial classes, are now able to think, oh, ये भी एक perspective है सोचने का? How many of you? This happened with you also? Good. Because we don't rethink. We don't rethink, no? We don't question it. So when we are questioning it, what is this you have given, Rishabh? Rishabh, what is this? This is the very first time I can see this emoji on my chat box. Yeah. What is this emoji mean, Rishabh? So it is going to make you critical. You want to ask a question? Okay, you can say yes. All right. Chaliye. Now today we are going to understand this very particular topic, that is doing research. Okay? Just a moment. Is there any role played by me? Did I do anything? Only sociology. Sociology जिसने पढ़ाया उसको कोई credit नहीं. Just a moment, guys. I'm just like, I think one of the students has just texted me. I now can't wait. Let me just ask admin team to reply that now ma'am can't wait. अच्छा. Okay, then it's fine. I was just thinking, कभी कोई credit ही नहीं मिलता है. Okay, now the first point which I wanted to just explain before we'll discuss all this topic, okay, that why this topic is very important. Let's talk business. So topic 2 and topic 3 of your paper 1, okay, one is sociology as science, okay, next is research methodology, okay. We are getting maximum question marks from these two topics, topic 2 and topic 3. Topic 2 and topic 3. Every year we are getting many questions from it. Now I would say topic 2 and topic 3 is giving an answer to the topic 1. I'm giving you 2 minutes to think and tell me how. If you will see the topic 1 ka syllabus, that what does that say? Sociology is a discipline. Okay, and there we are asking ourselves why the changes are happening, why there are problems, this and that, isn't it? We are saying that we required a new discipline to understand society. We required a new discipline to understand society, and there was no scientific analysis on society before sociology emerged. Okay, now we are understanding that how we can apply all these scientific methods to understand society, because society, so it's not, we cannot say we are doing some scientific studies on it. How we are conducting research on people? Then what is society? Topic 2 is explaining is a science. In topic 2, we are having criticism, critique of science. And topic 3 is telling the methodology. Got the clarity? Little bit? So we are discussing how sociology is a science. We are telling in topic 1 that sociology is a scientific study of science. But the answer why it is a science we are getting from topic 2 and topic 3, or in short by understanding research methods. I'm giving you 2 minutes. Please write down what I have just explained. 2 minutes to all of you. Written? Quickly write down. Sai, what you have written? Write down. Sociology argues itself to be science. And Sai, if you are not writing it, then you have to tell your teacher. She's not writing and then she's thinking what to say. You will ask me, huh? Write down. Sociology is a science. And to know that how sociology is a science, we are reading in topic 2 and 3. That is research methods and methodology. Okay? Now, if you people have written, let's understand this chapter. So if you read this, the first paragraph, it is again asking you question. Have you wondered why a subject like sociology is called a science? Okay? Social science? Because in history also you are reading the chronological facts. In political science also you are doing constitutional studies, governance studies, this and that. Okay? In economics also we are studying about economy. How come sociology, which seems to us very basic, very common, how it can be a social science? More than any other discipline, sociology deals with the things that are already familiar to most people. Why are we reading marriage, family, kinship? यहाँ पे आप लोग क्या करोगे? क्वेश्चन लिखोगे. Why are we reading family, marriage, kinship, religion when we know this already? Why are we reading this family, marriage, religion, these social institutions? It is asking you this, okay? We already have this understanding. So, how a sociologist are different from a commonsensical person? For example, right now, I can ask you, do you know about religion? Do you know about economy? Do you know about political science? Do you know about family? I can ask you all these questions, isn't it? But as a student or as a member of the society, you also know this. Now I want to know what is the difference between this paragraph is asking. What is the difference between, let's just say, right now, because I am a sociologist only, between me and any common person? I'm a sociologist and you people are not. But you people can also tell me about marriage. You can also tell me about religion. You can also tell me about family. You can also tell me about the problems. You can tell me about employment. But your analysis and my analysis will be different. This is what paragraph 1 is asking. Why a sociologist are going to be called as sociologists? What are they doing? So when I am saying that caste institution is not removing or is not disappearing, and the caste like features are there in Muslim society too, just like Hindu society, I am saying it because I have spent almost 10 years of my life in conducting research on that. I have studied more than I would say, if I'll consider my MPhil and PhD, I have interviewed, I spoke, I have a data of almost 1200 people on record. Different people coming from different data, have different issues. And since I have taken not only sociology, I have anthropology as well. So I entered into anthropology to sociology because this is how in JNU it works, social anthropology and sociology. So I've conducted experiments. So when I am making a statement, it is not merely on emotions. It is not only on experiences. I have conducted a research. Doing research is the topic name. Now is this clear? So what is the difference between a sociologist and a commoners? A sociologist is conducting a research on the common day-to-day phenomenon. That you people have to write. Please write down on your own. Sai, you need to write a lot. Not in one day you would be writing answers. Every time we need to practice. लिख लिया? Now let's read quickly second paragraph. I want Prince you to read this paragraph. We can do lot many other activities. Please read. And you will explain me also. Read. You can read from your book. You are having a book. Why are you torturing your eyes? Stop. Now all of you please write down research method. Now please make a note and understand that sociology is arguing itself to be scientific. It is a science only because of procedures. We make observation. Okay. Then we ask questions. Okay. Then we make some guesses. Observation, ask questions, hypothesis. Data collection. Data analysis. Generalization. I would be explaining with the help of case study. First of all, you write this. What is case study, Sai? What is case study, Shalu?
Case study, which is we analyze something and study about any anything, then we get some information. I think that is the case study.
Prince, what is case study? Case study is an example. Okay? You are improving. You are improving. Very good for you. You are speaking in English, you are trying, you are working hard. Clap for her. I have seen a lot of people who improve like this only if they are consistent. खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से पूछे बता तेरी रजा क्या है. इट्स सो वेरी फेमस कवाली. तो मैं बहुत बुड्ढी हो गई हूँ, आप लोग जेनजीज हैं. अच्छा, आई एम गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन दिस विद अ केस स्टडी. Now you people tell me any phenomena you want me to or you people want to study. Any phenomena. I will show you that how sociologists are conducting research with a case study. And this is a hypothetical one. You people can just ask. Quickly, yaar, we don't have that much of time. I know कि ये बहुत important topic है, so I cannot just go and explain like the culture and socialization the way I have explained. No. I am asking, ask me कि madam आप research करो किसी topic पे. It is like that. Any topic you want me to have a research on, I will explain like this to you. हाँ? Poverty. Human behavior. तो human behavior में क्या? गुस्सा, प्यार, मोहब्बत, नफरत, war, suicide. Suicide नहीं. हिमालय दरकाइम बहुत famous है. I'm not going to talk like my forefather. I mean, I can explain, but then I would get into Himalaya Durkheim. No, I don't want to get into that. You tell me a fresh topic, I'll conduct a research. हाँ? Urbanization में क्या? देखो, this is how it will start. Congestion, ghettoization, that. What are you saying, Rishabh? No, ma'am, I have taste in Qawwali. Okay, Shairi as a Gen Z. So you are also for a poetic poem. Okay, okay. Now understand. Okay. He said, what he said? Urbanization. Then what was my question? What in urbanization? Okay. So when we are analyzing society, we have two perspectives, macro and micro. Now, the aspect which Prince has said, it is large. Okay? So, urbanization. So, when I used to teach in Jamia University, there were few scholars who were conducting research under me. I was helping them. I was, newly recruited there. So, I was under a professor and then I was like a assistant to the professor. Okay? So when a student used to come and say that, ma'am, urbanization पे research करना, so my first question was that what in urbanization and how you will define urbanization. So I am going to do the scrutiny because the first step is observation. Now what you are interested in? If I am saying urbanization, I would see there is slum, Dulan, right? I can see there is a crime, sanitation, then infrastructure, and Prince said ghettoization. This is a sociological term, although what he said out of commonsensical understanding, what? Congestion. This is what he said. But then I reframe it and I said congestion. You want to understand ghettoization. Or there can be another term, overpopulation. Now to understand this, I would further inquiry that what I want to look into it. So just to explain, I am taking ghettoization. Now in my observation, and this you people can also observe, for example, you can see any place. I am giving you example of Karol Bagh. In Karol Bagh, you would surprise, I have so recently visited. There are mentions like वो घर 200 करोड़ 300 करोड़ से कम नहीं होंगे, right? So there are big mentions, park है, car है, space है, सारी चीजें हैं, and nearby Karol Bagh, you would see there are lot many colonies. Okay, it is in small lanes, no house, lot of floors, congested place. Okay, so you will always find, I'm using very basic term, rich inhabitants, locality or posh colony, and nearby you would see a ghettoized colony as well. Hamesha. You will see Vasant Vihar, there will be some places where people are working. And this reminds me, because we do have an analytical mindset, this is not something new. This was there during IVC time also. Citadel and Lower Town. Rich people service classes are living nearby something. So there is always two classes as per Karl Marx, rich and poor. So this is a sociological analysis. Okay, so I am saying ghettoization. Now further I will look into it. I will ask you that what you want to look into the ghettoization. So what have I done? बताओ जल्दी से, मैंने क्या किया? I have used a procedure. Observation. I am asking a question. Now I am asking a question, simple question. What is the reason of ghettoization in Delhi? No, no. I'm तो asking ना, अभी तो हम explore कर रहे हैं. Urbanization में ghettoization major challenge है. This is my problem. In urbanization, one of the major problem is ghettoized colonies. Now I would say which locality, like they are nearby and who are living there. What are their social economical conditions? Okay, I have taken a question that I want to understand. So I am conducting sociological study on ghettoized localities in Delhi. This is my topic and I am conducting a research. I have conducted a research because of my observation. Now I am making a hypothesis. It is like I am saying. So the reason of ghettoized colonies, I'm making hypothesis, is migration. People are coming from rural areas and they are coming for in the search of employment. This is my hypothesis. Okay, this is my hypothesis. Another step. Up I would be collecting the data. In data collection, I have two methods: quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative and qualitative. In quantitative, I am looking or gathering large data. And in qualitative, I am doing ethnographic study, like small data. Now, let's just say I am looking what is universe of my area. What is universe of my area? I cannot do urbanization in whole India. So my universe of area is Delhi. Now in Delhi also, is it possible for a researcher? I mean, it took 10 years for me to locate all the Indian Muslims in Delhi. So what I will do? I will explain how I'm going to conduct a research. So that is data collection, that is data methods. So first of all, I would be telling about Delhi's population. I would be definitely dependent on secondary data. What is secondary data? It is already published. किसी गवर्नमेंट एजेंसीज में कहीं से भी मुझे डेटा पता चलेगा. Then I would be saying that दिल्ली में मैं A, B, C, D एरिया ले रही हूँ. तो वसंत विहार, न्यू फ्रेंड्स, महारानी बाग, करोल बाग, और उसके रिलेटेड कौन कौन सी गेट वाइज कॉलोनी है. एंड नाउ आई वुड बी टेलिंग द डेटा ऑल्सो कि कितने लोग हैं, क्या है, दिस एंड दैट. Now, is it possible for me to research without telling how many and what type of research method I am taking? So I am saying that I would be relying on quantitative data and also qualitative data. Means that I would be using statistics and also interview, let's just say. Okay. So I am saying out of this 4 area, my sample size will be 300 people, and trust me, ये 300 बच्चों को लेना भी it will take 3 to 4 years. Okay, so 300 sample size. इसमें I would further indicate sampling कर रही हूँ मैं. So there are types of sampling: probability sampling, non-probability sampling. So I am doing purposive sampling. What is purposive sampling? मेरा जो पर्पस है मैं उसके हिसाब से लोकेलिटी जाके चूज कर रही हूँ. मुझे गेटवाइजेशन समझना है तो मुझे पता है कि दिल्ली में कहाँ कहाँ गेटवाइज कॉलोनी है और मुझे गेटवाइज लोगों को ही रिसर्च करना है. तो purposive sampling, that I will explain. So sampling is the research method technique. Part 3. So I am saying 150 will be male, 150 will be female. Further clustering of sampling, clusterization. So there are types of sampling. Sampling is, it's not possible for me to conduct research on each and every one of those 4 members, like 4 colonies. तो मैं इसमें से कुछ लोगों को सिलेक्ट कर लूंगी. मैंने कितने सिलेक्ट कर लिए? 300. इट इज जस्ट लाइक जब आप राइस बनाते हो तो क्या आप सारे चावलों को देखते हो कि सारे पक गए? नहीं, थोड़े से हमने देखा, समझ में आ गया.
Different place, different religion people are living. How we identify it?
तो भी रिसर्च करेंगे ना. ठीक है. नाउ आई हैव सेड आई वुड बी यूजिंग क्वांटिटेटिव एंड क्वालिटेटिव, राइट? सो मैंने अब इस पे लिया एंड देन आई हैव मेड अ इंटरव्यू शेड्यूल. सो आई वुड से नेम, रिलीजन, जेंडर. So I am going to select people. I would be giving them the questionnaire. और उसमें मैं उसको भरूंगी. अगर कोई illiterate है तो I will fill myself. Otherwise I will give. So I will be going on field. So I will have some data statistics जो मैं measure कर सकती हूँ and then I would be discussing. Social, economical, political status मुझे देखना है कि कौन से लोग हैं. तो then I would be asking what is your native place, where you migrate, why you migrate. It is a questions. Open-ended questions, close-ended question. Open-ended question, I will ask. They can say close-ended, yes or no. Have you migrated in Delhi due to employment? This is this option given. Okay, and then I will collect the data and then I will analyze it. And then I would see that yes, in my data collection, I have found that majority of people who are living in this ghettoized space are migrated and they are from poor economical status and so on. Then I would be writing it. So what I did, whatsoever I have said, it was not randomly. I have researched, I have observed, and then I speak. Is this now clear? This is what research procedure is. So as with all scientific disciplines, the crucial element here is method. So we can say the way science is relying on certain methods. If I have to prove that it is only due to tectonic plates which collide each other, we have earthquakes, so I also have data, I have a method to prove it. Similarly, if I am saying that migration is actually plays a significant role and even in that unemployment is the major cause, no facilities, pull factor, push factors, so I would be saying it with a proof methods. So any body becomes scientific just because of scientific procedures. Please write down this somewhere here. So science is what? Science is only telling us about scientific procedures. So for in the final analysis, sociologists can claim to be different from lay persons, not because of how much they know or what they know, but because of how they acquire their knowledge. This is one reason for the special importance of method in sociology. Please write down. Sociology is deeply interested in the lived experience of people. For example, when studying social phenomena like friendship or religion or bargaining in markets, the sociologist wants to know not only what is observable by the bystander, but also the opinions and feelings of the people involved. Sociologists try to adopt the point of view of the people they study to see the world through their eyes. What does friendship mean to people in different cultures? What does a religious person think or she is doing? How do shopkeeper and customer interpret it? The answer to such questions are clearly part of the lived experience of actors involved, and they are of great interest to sociology. This need to understood both the outsiders and the insiders point of view, which you can call as emic, insider view. In research we call this etic, outside view. In research we call this. Please write down. Written this, all of you? So sociologists are not only observing, okay, they are trying to have scientific analysis. इसको कोट करो बाय विद एग्जांपल. ये वाले लाइन को कोट करेंगे. आई एम गिविंग यू 5 मिनट्स. देखो गाइस, आप समझ सकते हो मैं कितना सुपर स्लो हूं इस टॉपिक को लेके. You people will write for me. Emic perspective. Insider's view. Outsider view. This was given to us by Marvin Harris, social cultural anthropologist. I can bet यहाँ पे जितने भी करोलबाग में टीचर्स बैठे हैं, आई शुड नॉट से लाइक दिस, बट ये बहुत ही कम लोग कोट कर पाएंगे मेरविन हैरिस. मेरविन हैरिस, एमिक पर्सपेक्टिव, एटिक पर्सपेक्टिव. और ये अब आप लोग मुझे बताओगे विद रिस्पेक्ट टू काउ स्टेटस इन इंडिया. इनसाइडर्स व्यू क्या है काउ को लेके इंडिया में, और एक आउटसाइडर व्यू क्या हो सकता है. आई एम गिविंग यू 5 मिनट्स टू थिंक. रिसर्चर, हाँ कोई भी रिसर्चर है या कोई बाहर से आया है ऐसे भी आप देख सकते हो जो इंडिया का पार्ट नहीं हो, एनीवन. बट यहाँ पे आउटसाइडर व्यूज लाइक जैसे कि मैं रिसर्चर की तरह इसको देख रही हूँ, तो आउटसाइडर कोई और भी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल वी आर वर्शिपिंग काउ, बट इफ सम गोरा इज कमिंग ही विल नॉट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई आर वी ड्रिंकिंग काउज यूरिन, जस्ट से लाइक दैट. What will be his perspective? What will be your perspective? Or as a researcher, outsider's view? write down. लिख लिया? Just 2-3 more minutes. You are using internet for writing this simple answer. Okay. You are using. Just simple, you people just have to write down what is insider view, what is the cultural significance of cow for Indians, and what can be a researcher view on that. How researcher or somebody is outsider is processing this information. So as a researcher, if you visited India, so what do you think? What you will understand? You can go for the procedures. You need to think like a researcher. Don't just talk about our like somebody who have just come out of abroad and trying to see that why they are worshipping cow. So you have to think like a researcher. Okay. Yeah. You just think like a researcher. One to emic perspective to why are we saying this? What can be the reason? Researcher view, correlated from history, understand from political economical angle. No, just paragraph. You just need to tell me. You need to think and tell. I'm just trying to see that how you people are thinking on this. So you just write down the points and we'll discuss. Yeah, yeah. Now tell me, जल्दी से. देखो, I will tell. For us, cow is a symbol of sacredness. We worship cow as our mythological narratives. Okay? But if a researcher would come here, they would research on it. They want to see क्यों है ऐसा? Why it is like that? So Mervyn Harris, a social cultural anthropologist, who is telling that when we were evolving from hunting gatherer to to settled uh, group, agrarian, we were totally dependent on cows for agriculture. And since our ancestors didn't want cow to be cut so that we can have cattle rearing and we can use it for domestication, we have created a mythologies. This is one of the economical reasons which is being proved by research. And earlier also, if you see, the nature to define anything as sacred is what? The numbers of cows. If people used to have maximum numbers of cows, if anyone has, so that person used to consider as rich. Not in today's time, of course, but in previously, in ancient times, the number of cows, अगर जिसके पास 1000 गाय है वो सबसे ज्यादा अमीर है. डेफिनेटली उसके पास ज्यादा लैंड है, फिर उसमें ज्यादा उसके पास मिल्क है, डेयरी प्रोडक्ट्स, एग्रीकल्चर. Is this clear? Okay, so we always, a sociologist always understand why if somebody is doing crime or if ghettoization is a problem, so what is insider's view and what can be the major reasons also, which as a researcher I would be understanding. So insider's view and outsider views, we are taking subjective understanding that let's just say if people are committing suicide, so why those people are committing suicide, what can be the reason, and also the outsider view. We will have our own analysis. So I'm trying to understand poverty, so I would see that why people are very poor, okay, why they are so lazy, and then I would also see my own analysis. So I would see insider's view and outsider's view. Is this now clear? Okay. And I could see that most of you could not write much. In fact, I had given this much of time to all of you. Now, some methodological issues. Although it is often used simply as a substitute or methodology actually refers to the study of method. Methodological issues or questions are thus about the general problem of scientific knowledge gathering that go beyond any one particular method, technique, or procedure. We begin by looking at the ways in which sociologists try to produce knowledge that can claim to be scientific. Okay? Now, this objectivity and subjectivity. Please write down. So the point here is that how you people can gather information. Objectivity, that means by using quantitative methods, by using data, or by subjectivity, by understanding, by doing participant observation. So this is very important for us, objectivity and subjectivity in sociology. You can say objectivity is given to us by Emile Durkheim, subjectivity is given to us by Max Weber. Objectivity is positivism, Subjectivity is, this is positivism. Subjectivity is given to us by Max Weber. So positivism is given to us by Emile Durkheim. Max Weber. Now I want all of you to write in everyday language the word objective means unbiased, neutral. In order to objective about something, we ignore our own feelings or attitudes about that thing. ये आप लोग अभी लिख लो चाहे तो. On the other hand, the word subjective means something that is based on individual values and preferences. ये आप लोग mark कर लो. Objectivity, you are ignoring your own assumptions, your own feeling. You are only saying what is true. Subjectivity is you are considering values, understanding other parts as well. For example, when a geologist studies rocks or a botanist studies plants, they must be careful not to let their personal biases or preferences affect their work. So they will only going to see what they have observed, what they have researched. So they must report the fact as they are. They must not let their likings for a particular scientific theory or theorist influence the result of their research. However, the geologists and the botanists are not themselves part of the world they study. So natural world of rocks or of plants, they do not have any problem. Their emotions are not involved. But with scientists, sociologists, our emotions are involved. We are not an empty box. हमारे अंदर इमोशंस है ना. हम ऐसे नहीं कह सकते ना अपनी फीलिंग्स अपना दिमाग कहीं बाहर लेके चले जाओ और तब रिसर्च करो. आई हैव ओन अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ काउ, तो मेरे लिए हमेशा काउ एक सीक्रेट है. अब कहना दैट वर्शिपिंग काउ इज रॉन्ग. आई हैव इमोशंस, आई कैन नॉट रिमूव इट लाइक दैट. But then I have to say what is true. But then what I have to say what is true. Okay? So by contrast, social scientists study the world in which they themselves live. So this is a problem. How you are going to maintain objectivity? So the social world of human relation, this creates special problem for objectivity in social science like sociology. Please write down this part quickly. What is subjectivity? What is objectivity? And why it is problematic for sociologists to maintain objectivity. Okay? So this you people have to do it quickly. पहला आप लोग explain करो what is objectivity in your own words. Then write down about subjectivity and then why it is problematic. Quickly write down, guys. So first of all, there is the obvious problem of bias because sociologists are also members of society. They will also have all the normal likes and dislikes that people have. A sociologist studying family relation will herself be a member of a family, and her experiences are likely to influence her. Even when the sociologist has no direct personal experience of the group she or he is studying, there is still the possibility of being affected by the values and prejudices of one's own social context. For example, when studying a caste or religious community other than her own, the sociologist may be influenced by the attitudes about that community prevalent in her own past or present social environment. How do sociologists guard against these dangers? ओके सो जब भी एक सोशियोलॉजिस्ट को ये प्रॉब्लम आता है तो वो क्या करते हैं वन मेथड इज टू रिग्रेस कंटिन्यूसली एग्जामिन वंस ओन आइडियाज एंड फीलिंग्स अबाउट द सब्जेक्ट ऑफ रिसर्च दिस इज नोन एज वैल्यू रेलेवेंस given by Max Weber. So more generally, the sociologist tries to take an outsider's perspective. She tries to look at herself and her research through the eyes of others. This technique is called self-reflexivity. कभी भी क्वेश्चन आ जाएगा आपको सोचते रह जाओगे कहाँ से आया है. Sometimes also reflexivity. So the sociologist constantly subjects her own emotions, okay? Her own attitudes and opinions to self-examination. She or he tries to consciously adopt the point of view of others, especially those who are the subjects of her research. One of the practical aspects of reflexivity is the importance of carefully documenting whatever one is doing. Part of the claims to be superiority of research methods lies in the documentation of all procedures and the formal citing of all sources of evidence. This ensures that others can retrace the steps have taken to arrive. और ये वाला जो स्टेप है कि दूसरे लोग आके सिमिलर रिसर्च करते हैं उसको आप रिलायबिलिटी भी कहते हैं. हाउ अ रिसर्च विल कंसिडर एज रिलायबल अगर कोई और उस मेथड्स को अप्लाई करके सिमिलर रिजल्ट या थोड़ा डिफरेंट रिजल्ट भी लेके आ रहे हैं. रिलायबिलिटी. तो वन ऑफ द प्रैक्टिकल importance of carefully documenting वन इज डूइंग. तो आप देखोगे इवन टुडे मेरे पास इतना एक पूरा कार्टून भर के मेरे रिसर्च मेथड्स जो मैंने अप्लाई किए थे उसके सारे इतने सारे पेपर्स हैं, इंटरव्यू शेड्यूल्स हैं, मेरी फीलिंग्स है, मेरी रिसर्च डायरीज है. ओके तो वो अभी जेएनयू में सबमिट भी है. ओके कि किस तरीके से आपको रिसर्च करना होता है. बाय द वे आई हैव माय वर्क आफ्टर 1970 गॉट रिकॉग्नाइज्ड बाय इंडियन सोशल साइंस काउंसिल साइंस ऑफ रिसर्च ICSR, इंडियन काउंसिल ऑफ सोशल साइंस रिसर्च. ओके तो वो हमको अपने सब हमने सबमिट कर रहे हैं. ठीक है. सो दिस इंश्योर्स दैट अदर्स कैन रिट्रेस द स्टेप्स वी हैव टेकन टू अराइव एट अ पर्टिकुलर कंक्लूजन and sees for themselves if we are right. It also helps us to check and recheck our own thinking or line of argument. However, self-reflexive the sociologist tries to be, there is always a possibility of unconscious bias. आप कभी भी unconscious bias हो सकते हो. So to deal with this possibility, sociologists explicitly mention those features of their own social background that might be relevant as a possible source of bias on the topic being researched. So this alerts readers to the possibility of bias and allows them to mentally compensate for it. Okay? So another problem with objectivity in sociology is the fact, generally in the social, there are many versions of the truth. ये हमेशा याद रखना, there are many versions of the truth. एक मेरा सच है, एक आपका सच है और एक सच है. Right? So this looks different from different vantage points. मैं सही हो सकती हूँ अपनी जगह, आप अपनी जगह बिल्कुल सही हो सकते हैं. फिर सही है क्या? यही सोशियोलॉजी सिखाता है. बहुत मुश्किल है. This is really very बहुत difficult to understand who are correct, because you can be right at your point, I can be right at my point, But then, as Immanuel Kant in Categorical Imperatives argues and says that there has to be something right. I I can be coming from Muslim families. I have lot many, rituals and beliefs. So being Muslim, I would support it. But then there would be something wrong. And how you people can remain honest? By over analyzing, by thinking. So you need to see, you need to develop a habit to say what is truth. That's it. एक आपको दुनिया बताएगी, एक आप खुद देखोगे कि ये है. होता है ना फैमिली में सारे एलिगेशंस बहू पे, आपने ये किया, आपने ये किया, ये आपका कॉन्शियस आपको बताएगा कि आपने क्या गलत किया कि नहीं. वर यू राइट और नॉट, right? You should be saying. And how does that happen? According to me, it happens if you will see the all sociologists are talking about if you people have empathy, wisdom. When you have this courage to say no, it is wrong. When you have courage to say that no, I'm not going to accept it if it is wrong. And you need to understand that you can also be wrong. You're not Bhagwan, right? तो एक हमको लगता है कि हम सही कर रहे हैं, बट हो सकता है हम नहीं है सही. वी आर इम्परफेक्ट, हम बहुत गलत है. So sociology is also helping you to have self analysis, right? How much you people are right? You just, sometimes we just out of feeling say something. As a bureaucrat, आप ऐसी सिचुएशन में हमेशा फंसोगे यहाँ पे. और मैं भी रिसेंटली आई वाज टॉकिंग टू वन ऑफ माय स्टूडेंट्स, ही वुड बी अपीयरिंग फॉर इंटरव्यू. ही वाज टेलिंग मी दिस, मैम कई बार ऐसा प्रेशर होता है सीनियर्स का, लेकिन मैं वही करता हूँ जो मुझे ठीक लगता है. अगर आप स्पिरिचुअलिटी के साथ कहीं भी एंटर करोगे ना, एक तो आप टारगेट होगे. He was telling me stories that on his 5 to 7 hours, I think 7 to 6 hours of his work attitude, he was being targeted. And by very next day, he got a mail कि तुमने ये काम नहीं किया. उसने बोला मेल पे कि मैम मैंने रिवर्ट किया कि मुझे एक दिन नहीं हुआ आए हुए, तो मैंने ये काम कैसे नहीं किया, right? So you need to understand, if you people are going to understand sociology the way I'm teaching, you will see that how good reflection you will make. एक आप लोगों का खुद का इमोशन होता है, नो? जैसे आप क्लास में आ रहे हो, नहीं आ रहे हो, पढ़ रहे हो, नहीं पढ़ रहे हो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जैसे आपकी बेस्ट फ्रेंड है, आपको पता है कि शी इज रॉन्ग और ही इज रॉन्ग, बट आप फिर भी सपोर्ट करोगे उसे कि नहीं ये मेरा दोस्त है या दोस्त. आपको पता होना चाहिए कि ये फिर दोस्ती नहीं है. अगर कोई गलत है आपको उसको बताना होगा कि गलत है, लेकिन आप बता कैसे रहे हो उसमें विजडम है. How will you tell? You cannot even hurt, you cannot even. So this is all the tricks we learn on field. When we get into research, we learn all this field. The reflexivity, thinking all the dimensions. Okay, so this is what it is saying. So things look different from different vantage points, and the social world typically involves many competing versions or interpretation of reality. For example, a shopkeeper and a customer may have very different ideas about what is good price. For shopkeeper, the price is always, it is like Karl Marx यही तो कह रहे हैं. कार्ल मार्क्स यही तो कह रहे हैं कि एक कैपिटलिस्ट के लिए बहुत एक्सपेंशन है, उसको एक्सपेंड नहीं करेगा, वो सिस्टम में नहीं रहेगा. तो उसका तो पॉइंट है कि वो प्रॉफिट मेक करेगा, पैसे लेगा, कहीं और लगाएगा, सिंपल. लेकिन एक वेज लेबरर्स के लिए क्या है, सैलरी ज्यादा दो. ये कंफ्लिक्ट हमेशा रहेगा. अब इस सिचुएशन में क्या करूं? फॉर इंस्टेंस, आई यूज्ड टू टेल माय फादर व्हेन आई गॉट इनटू माय फादर के बिजनेस में, आई वर्कड हार्ड बट आई वर्कड अलोंग विद माय पेरेंट्स के एम्प्लॉइज. Okay, and I told them that you need to see that yes, not every employee is doing the same work, but those who are doing, they need to be taken care of, and not with any hidden motive. आपको पता होना चाहिए. Then he used to tell me the calculation. ये करेंगे तो इसका ये करना होगा, उसका वो करना होगा एंड ऑल दैट, एंड आई यूज्ड टू हेट लाइक एनीथिंग। ये क्या मतलब है, ये क्यों करना है, ऐसे क्यों करना है। पर उनका भी वो सच था, वो सही थी अपनी जगह, मैं सही थी अपनी जगह, एक लेबर सही था अपनी जगह, बट फिर एक सच होना चाहिए। उसके लिए फिर क्या हुआ, फॉर एग्जाम्पल वी डू हैव लेबर एसोसिएशन, कैपिटलिस्ट के लिए मोर प्रॉफिट, लेबर के लिए मोर वेजेस, तो फिर कंपनी नॉर्म्स, जैसे ओनर्स को कुछ प्रिविलेजेस है वैसे वर्कर्स को प्रिविलेजेस है, वैसे वर्कर्स के ऊपर भी केस है, कहीं तो कुछ सच्चाई होगी ना, ठीक है। So there is no simple way of judging which particular interpretation is true or more correct, and uh, often it is unchanging. So in fact, sociology tries not to judge in this way because it is really interested in what people think and why they think what they think. A further complication arises from the presence of multiple points of view in the social sciences themselves. Okay, like it's a social science, sociology too has multi-paradigmatic science. पैराडाइमेटिक साइंस, ये लिख लेना, कभी आपको ऐसा क्वेश्चन आ जाएगा कमेंट। सोशियोलॉजी इज अ मल्टी पैराडाइमेटिक साइंस, कमेंट। This means that competing and mutually incompatible school of thought coexist with the discipline. All this makes objectivity a very difficult and complicated thing in sociology. In fact, the old notion of objectivity is widely considered to be an outdated perspective. Social scientists no longer believe that the traditional notions of an objective, disinterested social science is attainable. In fact, such an ideal can actually be misleading. This does not mean that there is no useful knowledge to be obtained via sociology or that objectivity is useless concept. It means that objectivity has to be thought as the goal of continuous ongoing process rather than already achieved result. So this is value neutrality. आप पढ़ोगे बाद में इसको। Okay, so rest we are going to have discussion tomorrow, not today.